Hey stylists, today I wanted to go over the real-world money shop for Infinity Nikki, or Infinity for short. Disclaimer, please be responsible with your finances. This video is not meant to convince or encourage anyone to go out and spend money on this game. Rather, if you've already decided that you want to spend money, this video should help you to figure out how to get the most bang for your buck. Without further ado, let's begin. Instead of just saying which packs I think are worth it from the shop, I'm going to break everything down using math and a spreadsheet. But don't worry though, it's really simple stuff, and I hope I've organized things in a way that makes sense. Also, I'm primarily going to focus on the value of each of these packs based solely on how many diamonds they give, since I'm still new to the game myself. As a result, I don't really know how to value certain in-game items like crafting materials, bling, etc. Also, I may not be able to see all the purchasable items in the shop, since I think some of them unlock as I raise my Mira level. But let's just start with some simple, important conversions to keep in mind. First of all, the two types of currency used in this game for shop purchases are stellarites and diamonds. You can think of these as premium / paid for currency and regular currency respectively. A good comparison is to something like Genesis crystals and Primogems from Genshin Impact. These two currencies convert in a 1-to-1 basis, so you can exchange one stellarite for one diamond, but only in that direction. You can't go back from diamonds and get stellarites. This is because the game tracks how much money you've actually spent by using this calculation. Although they are essentially equivalent since they are 1-to-1, it is important to note that stellarites are way more valuable since you can only use them to purchase certain things in the shop. So I recommend only exchange stellarites into diamonds if you need to do so at that moment. Otherwise, just hold on to them. Another important conversion to keep in mind is that 120 diamonds is equal to 1 pull on a banner. You should always keep this in mind when you're calculating how much money it'll take if you want to take your chances in the gacha system. Lastly, I've shown that it takes at least 21,600 diamonds in order to guarantee a complete 9-piece outfit from the gacha banner. This is because there is a pity system in the gacha, thankfully. You're guaranteed one 5-star piece for every 20 pulls that you make. So, to get 9 5-star drops, you'll end up pulling 180 times at most. And since each pull costs 120 diamonds, we just multiply 180 by 120 to get 21,600. Now, I pray that we all end up luckier than this when we start going for gacha pieces, but this is the absolute worst case scenario. Now that we have these important conversions out of the way, let's start to take a look at how much real-world money this stuff costs in order to get our hands on it. In order to get a baseline for how expensive diamonds are to obtain, let's look at the 6 top-up packages. As far as I can tell, these packages are infinite and basically designed to be the main way of acquiring diamonds. You'll also see that my shop is listed in USD. I assume these prices will be different based on your region, so I'll show you how I come to each of my calculations. That way you'll be able to determine the value of each of these packs in your regions. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull up the store. Yeah, hurry up. That little chunky chicken. So, we go over here to the Stellarite tab. This is where all of our little top-up packages are located, because this is where you buy exclusively Stellarites, which we've already covered earlier. As you can see, there are 6 different packages in total, so let's just go down the list one by one and evaluate just how worth it each one is. The first one you can see gives you only 60 Stellarites, but it costs just $1. So head over to our spreadsheet here and you see how I've got it recorded. $1 as the price, $60 as or 60 as our diamond reward. In order to calculate this so-called value, what I'm doing is I'm taking the number of diamonds you get and dividing it by the price. So 60 divided by 1 is 60. So this has a value of 60. Don't really know exactly how much that is per se, but we can use this in comparison to all the other packs to determine which ones are better than others. Obviously, a higher value is a better bang for your buck. Now, you'll also see that I have a double value column over here to the right. And that's because each of these top-up packages give you twice as many Stellarites the first time you purchase each tier. So the first time you spend $1 on this, you'll actually get 120 Stellarite. Therefore, it's double value. So moving on down the list, we have the $5 one. It gets you 300 diamonds, which is precisely 5 times as many as the previous pack. As a result, you can see that the value is exactly the same, 60 and 120. As you go up in price, you would expect the value to keep going up, because usually there's that principle of buying in bulk saves you money in the long run. To an extent, that is true in this game, but it's more of a bell curve. And what I mean by that is the $15 and the $30 and the $50 are kind of the converging points. In fact, the $30 tier here, you'll see the value is 66 instead of 60. The $100 tier, the most expensive one, the one you'd think that would be the best bang for your buck, is actually only a value of 64.8. Now, far off, mind you, but it is interesting to note that the $30 tier is the most price-efficient pack out of all of them. That being said, as you'll go down more into the spreadsheet, we'll see a few other types of packages that we can obtain in the shop here. And we'll see that these top-ups actually aren't very worth it at all. And that's because they are just quick cash grabs. If you are short on Stellarites and you need to make a pull before the banner expires, this is how you do it. You swipe the card, you get enough Stellarites, and you move on with your pulls. But, as everyone knows, being a gacha game, that means this game is also a time sink. It's a time investment. It's a long-term investment. We're playing stonks here. So, to get the best ultimate value for your buck, what you want to do is head over to... where is it? Yes, here it is, the treasure section. I don't know why they call it treasures. It's kind of weird. Usually it's like a daily gift, kind of a monthly pass sort of deal. And in fact, there are 2 in this game. I've never seen that before. There's like a monthly pass and a weekly pass. The weekly pass definitely does not seem worth it to me, because it's also $1 for 60 Stellarites, but it really seems to only give you extra stamina every day, which I suppose is useful, but in terms of pulling power, it doesn't really give you much at all. I suppose it is actually better than just buying the straight up dollar pack of your top-up, because again, you're paying $1 for 60 Stellarites. At least if you're buying this weekly thing, you get extra stamina out of the deal. So in that regard, I would never buy the dollar pack of Stellarite except for the first time bonus. Once you bought it that first time, don't ever look at it again. But we are getting a little off track here. Let's go back to the monthly gifts. So the way this works is you spend $5 and you get an immediate 300 Stellarite. But you also get 90 diamonds, which, as we've covered earlier, there's the 1-to-1 exchange ratio. But basically, you get 90 of those every single day for 30 days. So, let's look at our spreadsheet here. $5 tier, you get 90 diamonds times 30 days, plus an additional 300. Means you're ultimately getting about 3,000 diamonds in total for this package. But it only costs $5, which gives us a value of 60. That's exactly 10 times the value of that $1 top-up package. So you can definitely see how this is way better value. And you can actually quickly peruse the rest of the spreadsheet here and see that this is the ultimate value out of everything they sell in this game. At least, again, if you're looking at it in terms of pure pulling power. There are other packages in the shop that get you other things like in-game items, but as far as looking at just diamonds, this is the ultimate way to do it. The downside, though, is that this is a time investment. If you need pulls, this monthly gift is not going to help you, because you're only getting 90 gems a day. So it's, like I said, a long-term investment. Ultimately, if you plan on playing this game for the long run, and slowly over time building up your account, this is what you're going to want to buy every month. So if you're like a dolphin or a light spender, I probably would recommend picking this up. at least compared to every other thing in this entire list. Alright, next thing I want to cover is this featured tab. As you might expect, the feature tab has miscellaneous deals that are quote-unquote really good. Well, we're about to find out just how good these really are. So let's just take a look at the first one here. Title Resonance Pack number 1. You can only buy this pack once, apparently. I don't know if this will ever reset, maybe for like anniversaries or maybe for every single update it'll reset. I really don't know. But point is, we can only buy one of it right now. And for $1, you get 2 of each kind of crystal. So 2 different pull types, basically 4 pulls in total. 4 pulls for $1 sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Let's consult our spreadsheet to see exactly how much. So, since my spreadsheet is in diamonds, I just convert pulls directly into diamonds, which if you recall, we said 120 diamonds was 1 pull. So I do 4 times 120. This pack is basically giving us 480 diamonds for $1. So it has a value of 480, which again, way better than the top-up pack. So for $1, I'd say this pack actually is pretty decent. Not only that, but it does actually give you a little bit of bling and in-game threads of purity. So that's kind of a little bonus incentive. So if you just keep going down the list here, we'll see all these different resonance packs. I've got everything listed here in the spreadsheet. The $2, $5, $10, and $15 tier. And we can see that the values go down the more expensive you go. So these are really just kind of quick cash grabs. I don't know why they did it this way. I guess just to try and get the cheap spenders to just quickly give them a little bit of money and get a nice little head start on their account. But anyways, even the most expensive one here, I'd say is still fairly worth it. It has a value of 200, which, as we've gone over before, is still a way better value than any of the top-up packages. Those top-up packages are definitely the baseline, like bottom tier. This is as expensive as Stellarites for money is going to get, so any other package is going to be better than that. But the last thing I really wanted to cover here in terms of paying money for diamonds is the Battle Pass, or I guess this game calls it the Mira Journey. Kind of a weird name. I guess Mira is short for Miraland. But anyways, this is your Battle Pass, so you do stuff in the game every day, every week, every patch cycle, and you level this thing up. Gives you tons of different rewards as you go up the tiers, but in order to get the really good stuff, you gotta shell out money. So they call that the Distant Anthem here. So there's, as usual, multiple options to take a look at. There's the $10 one, and apparently it's normally $23, but it's marked down to $19.50. Oh no! Yeah, just figure it's $19.50 is the base price. They always do that whole, they mark it up and then mark it down to make it look like it's on sale. So let's take a look here. The $10 one gives you an immediate 680 diamonds, as well as the unlockable side to the Battle Pass. So that includes 680 diamonds, 5 actual pulls, one of these cool Momo outfits, that's neat, and various materials for the game. I have calculated this in the spreadsheet. For $10, you get about 1,960 diamonds worth of, well, diamonds. I probably could have worded that a little better. But I came to this by doing the 680 diamonds that you get, plus another 680 diamonds that you get, plus 5 times 120. Because remember, you get 5 actual pulls, and 1 pull is 120 diamonds. So ultimately, if you pay $10 for the Battle Pass, you're getting 1,960 diamonds, plus a ton and ton of other in-game resources. So, based purely on diamond value, we only have a value of 196. Doesn't actually look that good, but I will say, this is still probably a very valuable pack to pick up, because what it doesn't give you in pull power, it gives you in, I guess you'd call it account power. You get so many different threads and bubbles,
rhinestones,
cardboard,
clear plastic from packaging,
bling and
rhinestones,
gems and jewelry and
scrapbook paper, artificial plants,
fucking rhinestone,
felt, a marker, fabric, gym socks, and glue.
you know, you're actually going to be able to make progress in the game as far as leveling up your outfits and stuff. This is definitely something for, again, more of a dolphin, if you will. If you're planning on playing the game for any period of time, then this is probably something you're going to want to pick up every month to just make sure that your account can stay leveled up at a reasonable basis. Now, there is also that $19.50 tier. What do you get for this? Well, obviously you get everything from the previous tier, but you also start 10 levels higher on the Battle Pass. This is something that I've seen in most gacha games. I never consider it worth it, because, like, if you're buying the Battle Pass, you're playing this game every day already. And if you're playing the game every day, you should have no problem maxing out the levels on your Battle Pass. So the only reason I would see a 10 level boost coming in handy is if you know maybe you've got a big function coming up this month and you might not be able to play every day. It can kind of save you to make up that difference. Or if you're just really impatient and you want 10 levels of rewards right off the bat. Definitely not worth it in my opinion, but hey, I guess that's a use for it. Besides that though, you also get an extra 980 Stellarite on top of that. You get some energy and like, oh boy, an avatar frame. Whoa, that's so valuable. You know, this is a dress-up game, cosmetics are the name of the game, but that kind of stuff definitely doesn't appeal to me. I'm more about the actual outfits. Going back to our spreadsheet for diamond value. So 1950 is the price. This value is going to be everything from the previous tier plus an additional 980 Stellarites. So that's 2,940, which again shows that the value is actually less. It's kind of an interesting trend. I've noticed that the more expensive things are in this game, the less you actually get for it. So those poor whales are getting exploited to hell and back. Anyways, I definitely don't recommend this higher level tier. If you are going to go for the Battle Pass, I say just stick with the $10 tier. Alright, let's go back to the shop one more time and see some of the things you can actually spend these so-called Stellarites on. The last section of the shop here is this clothing section. This is sort of where you can buy, I guess in other gacha games it would be like skins for characters, but since Nikki's characters are skins, these are just other skins. So, that's kind of funny. But anyways, these are paid for costumes. As far as I'm aware, the only way you can get your hands on any of these 4 costumes is by, in fact, shelling out money. So you can see one costs 60, one's 300, one's 980, one is way too overpriced, but is clearly the best one in the set, and I am trying to go for it anyways. So, you know, I'm crazy, don't listen to me. In fact, you should probably click off the video right now. So, that's kinda it, I guess. Bye. No, seriously. Pay attention to this word at the top of the store here. Budget wisely. Hopefully this video has been able to help you decide what you're going to do as far as spending goes. Again, keep in mind, this company does not need your money, so only if you decide that you are willing to put money into this game, use this guide to help you figure out what is best for you. But otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one, and until then, God bless.